Fuck all them motherfuckers. I had a big titty blonde bitch break me out of YouTube jail. She dead now, but I'm out here and free. Uh-oh. Started this one off wrong. Let's talk about why there's so much attention focused on the Amber Heard Johnny Depp deal. You know why it is, just like all of your opponents know why it is. Come on now, you understand, don't you? If Amber Heard is made, and I mean made, to be accountable for the shit that she has done, it's going to strike a death blow for Pound Me Too. Believe all women. All of that nonsensical bullshit that these devout gynocentrists put in place to hamstring him up and hog-tie a motherfucker. Now, anybody with a rational mind is not going to sit there and think, oh man, it means that she can't come forward when she's been SA'd. No, it doesn't mean that at all. It means that you go forward, you go through the process. That's why we have a process. But it's humiliating. Is it worse? Is it worse than having somebody forcibly dick you down? No, it's not. It's part of the process. And same thing for a man. I'd tell a man the same thing. Men, if you're being groped, if you're being sexually violated, file the fucking complaint. It's that simple. You have a nation of feminists, feminuts, femiturds, whatever you want to call them. I call them insane, that have to keep this going. If they don't keep it going, then the money dries up. Where have we heard that before? Where have we seen that before? Any Roach USA, dating coach, anybody that's putting frame and game front and center. That shit's always morphing into something else to try to sucker motherfuckers, ain't it? Oh, by the way, before I go any farther, big ups to that chat. Big ups to those master wrenches doing the thing. I'm happy to see you all again, as usual. Uh-oh. Mr. Freshly 50K, and then he pissed a few people off. Now he's not 50K no more, but he will be. And Ribby, the party frog, 100K. Congratulations, Ribs. That's fantastic, man. Congratulations to all of the warbanders for finding your niche, finding what works, and I guess I have to say, playing inside the rules, because I don't do that very well. That's pretty clear. Oh, Jesus. God in heaven. Let me jump up in the chat real quick before we continue on with the fake-ass murder mystery right there of that particular young lady that's on the screen talking all that nonsense with the face that's trying so hard to squeeze out a little bit of sweat. Has anybody seen one tear in those dramatic facial expressions? I just didn't know what to do, man. No, I haven't. Not one. Not one. Fat bitches will sweat Crisco faster than she can squeeze out a tear. And it's odd, isn't it? Because she can do it on command for a movie, but there's something in that bean of hers that is sitting there telling her, you a lying motherfucker. You lying your ass off. Now, am I in Johnny Depp's corner? Nope. This is a victory or another huge loss for men, but not because of Johnny Depp. I think Johnny Depp's a piece of shit. I don't like him. I used to like him until he started opening his mouth talking about assassinating presidents because he didn't like their politics. And, well, that was it. That's all it takes. And then talking about half the rest of us like we ain't here. That shows you how detached and how fucked up these people are. This is one rich turd shining on another rich turd. But in the larger scope of things, when you take all of that brainwashing, that nonsense, and you put it aside, in the larger scope of things, I am very grateful that we have people out here that are talking about the things that matter, that really matter. Just want to make sure that that thing works, because every once in a while my son pops in over here to go to the bathroom and I don't necessarily want him on camera. Sometimes it's okay, but not unless I ask him. So, oh yeah, there it is. Look at that. I love my retro gaming. I don't do a lot of it, but I do like it. Amber Heard, Johnny Depp. What's really at stake here, folks? What's really at stake? Is it the autonomy of men to move the way that they're going to move? Is it the ability of women to bastardize, to demonize, to shake a motherfucker down? I think it is. I think that that's what's really at stake. You see, these people have always played from behind. They will always be playing from behind. Always, always. That will never change. The only way for that to not matter is to change men. They can't change enough to be us. And instead of embracing that, instead of holding shitbag women and shitbag men to account, no. We're just going to paintbrush the fuck out of all guys, all men. We're going to sissify their kids. We're going to replace all of the male teachers in school. And the male teachers that stick around, well, they'll be as effeminate as any woman in there. Probably more so, because the bitches have lost their ability to hold on to femininity. They don't know what it means. Oh, and for the 2 or 3 of y'all that are hanging out, hate watching, fuck you. Fuck you and fuck you. Who's next? Thank you for the view. Let me get up in the chat real quick. Talk to some of you, gents. Thanks for being here. 365 of y'all, 13 minutes in. Is that right? That can't be right. Ain't no way that this cast attracts that much attention. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Craig Finesse, what a precious little girl with a face of petrified cruelty. Yeah, abso-fucking-lutely, man. Success pool endeavors, cultural welfare, and media manipulation. Oh, warfare, pardon me, but it might as well be cultural welfare. I coined that here for you by accident. Don't let nobody say that they did it first. Johnny, good to see you, Hammerhand. Good to see you too, Johnny. All of y'all that showed up in here and that are doing the thing, I appreciate you being here, man. I really do. Mr. Hemi 4-Speed, Indy MGTOW, Pagan Monk, good to see you all. Good to see you all. Men need to learn to stop simping. They can't learn that if they don't have masculine influence in their life. They can't. They can learn to be fractured. They can learn to be emotionally and physically and spiritually neurotic. They can learn to be demons. I mean, if anything has shown you what these bitches are actually like, just go look at any of the protests about Roe v. Wade. Protests. Showing up at Supreme Court judges' houses. Trying to intimidate the law of the land. Shocker, right? Shocker. If it wasn't them doing it, it'd be some fucker in a business suit from Wall Street. That's the other end of the spectrum, isn't it? It always has been. Free Ross. Hashtag pure blood. Yes, sir. Disenfranchised Veritech. It's all distraction from Dinesh D'Souza's 2000 Mules. Pretty good movie. Pretty good movie. Not too bad at all. Traveling Man 49. Hammer, make me a wrench. I know bullshit when I see it. If it crosses my mind, I can't do it while the stream is live, but I'll go back over this if the stream stays up, because you know how these motherfuckers are. Over there at YouTube in California with their 10,500 censors that firmly endorse crushing your fucking rights. Oh, and it's our platform. Well, that depends on who owns it, doesn't it? Chrome Dome Omega Outlaw with a MGTOW star sounds kind of like an anime. A little bit. Yeah, a little bit. MGTOW Outlaw, we in here, brother. Hammer, appreciate you. MGTOW Outlaw. Dane Borrow, we missed you, Hammer. I miss y'all too, man. You know, if I don't get to put together one or two of these every once in a while, kind of bugs me a little bit. Not a lot. I wouldn't fall off the planet or anything. But yeah, it is what it is, man. Infinity Serpent females wouldn't know femininity even if it were there and hit them in the face with the threat of nukes. Can't cook, can't clean, can't be a wife. Well, all of that stuff comes front and center before being a wife. The desire to be married is like a desire to have a pair of Manolo Blancs. You know what I'm saying? It's a desire to have something, to be called or known as something. Marriage today is the gateway to a paycheck. That's the end goal. That's why 80% of hoes are chasing 10% of men. You see? Even the truck 50 bitches are out there talking about, I could get me one of them. And guess what? There is actual proof to make sure it happens. It happens. That's how fucked up the average guy is, especially a guy that's never heard the word red pill or gynocentric. He doesn't know what blue pill is. He doesn't know shit. All he knows is what his desires are leading him to know. And that's a one-way ticket to a fucking jail cell or a death sentence. Just depends on the bitch, doesn't it? Have you read about the woman who set her husband up to go to prison by loading up his phone and electronic devices with child pornography? See, everybody else is beating around the bush, calling it CP or inappropriate. Fuck that. It was child pornography. She had to seek out the child pornography, commit crimes in order to try to frame the man. Hell of a day out here, ain't it? Sam Fisher, let's show Hammer the love, gents. Hit those like buttons, man. I thank you guys tremendously. I really do. Thank you. Line of MGTOW, you see they are attacking YouTubers for defending Johnny Depp. Well, I'm not defending Johnny Depp as a person, but it's pretty clear that the guy was abused, that he was battered, that he was financially taken advantage of, even though that bitch is rich. Right? She'll go spend hundreds of thousands of his and sock hers away while she's hanging out with James Franco, Elon Musk, all of the other Hollywood brood. You know what I'm saying? Of course you know what I'm saying. This is just the way that manipulative cunts work with weak, suspect men. You can have billions. Oh, Elon's got hundreds of billions and still not smart enough to stay away from a fucked up woman. Just the way it is, ain't it? Just the way it is. James, Dominic, in Canada, Quebec, the mask mandate will finally be over May the 14th after 666 days in a row. Almost 2 straight years. Almost 2 straight years that folks, and you watch now, when they end the mandate, which it doesn't mean shit, I'll gladly try to take an ass whipping or throw hands on some of these stupid ass imbeciles that work for the state before I put that fucking mask on. I ain't doing it. Oh, I can't come in your restaurant? Well, fuck you then. I'll just go make me a hamburger or something. I'll make a cheeseburger. I'll get me some peanut butter and jelly. I'm not going to starve to death. I don't need to be in your restaurant or your playground or your swimming pool enough to be cucked by you and the state. Eat a dick. Put some ketchup on it. 666 days. Sometimes I don't know how you true Canadians do it because the rest of those motherfuckers are skinwalkers. They're pod people. That would get on my nerves. Really would. Ben Dover saw Dr. Strange today. Total feminist, woke piece of shit. I heard it was a fucking disaster. I heard he was a third stringer in his own movie. That's what I heard. And I don't need to go see it. I'm pretty much done with him. I'm done with him. I wanted to hold on. I wanted to hang on. I wanted to say, man, maybe it's just a thing. Maybe it's just a phase. Nope, it's not a phase. These motherfuckers are all in. And the only way that the message is going to be received, like the drinker says, the message. The only way that the message is going to be received is to stop funding the people that hate you, that despise you. What do you think you're looking at here? This little microcosm of Amber Heard and old Johnny Depp battling it out. It's kind of a microcosm of funding your enemy, isn't it? How long was this guy with her where he was being stomped out, having parts of his body cut off, having somebody fucking burn cigarettes out on stub out cigarettes on him? Are you joking? Really? Really? And she told you in her own words, and it was played for the world to hear. And it's not a black eye for believe all women. It's not two black eyes for pound me too. It's the death knell. It's the death blow. If she's doing it with everything at her disposal, all of the low down, dirty little crabs in a bucket out here are doing it. They're just doing it. That's because they think that that's the thing to do. Who's going to believe you, Johnny? Who's going to believe you? You tell them that a woman beat up a man. Whose word do you think they're going to take you? Blah, 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 blah. Got her on tape, punching him in the fucking face, slapping him all up and down, treating him like dog shit. Now, he's not absolved. He's not absolved, not in my mind. Because what would I tell a bitch that was in that position? I would say, leave, bitch, leave. I don't have nowhere to go. You have thousands of shelters that cater specifically to you. Leave. I thought it particularly juicy and wonderful that they brought up BPD. The BPD. The Narcissist Express. It's the banana split of fuck you as far as personality disorder is concerned. Oh, it's delicious. It's amazing. It's great shit, man. Oh, goodness gracious. Having a good time out here, folks. How about you? You having a good time? I'm having a good time. Let me dig in these comments just a little bit. Line of MGTOW, a billionaire simp. That's just sad. That's a lot of them, ain't it, Lion? That's a lot of them. It's a lot of men. They can be driven to change the course of human history, which maybe not in his lifetime, but Elon Musk's adventures here while he's on the terrestrial plane, his shit's going to change human history. And the people that go along with him or try to go, against him, all of that's going to change the way that humans do business down the road. He might not see the fruition of that. He might not see the end result, but it's going to change human history in the way that people do business. And he can't stay away from an obviously fucking crazy woman. Your money can't help you when you are accused of sexual assault, when you're accused of rape, when you're accused of the ground and pound on your girlfriend because she's got a fresh makeup kit and she wants to Instagram to the whole world that you boxed her in the face, that you threw them paws, that you got them ears. How do you recover from that? You don't. You don't. He had a nice little line in here. He said, well, his attorney was saying to him, what have you lost because of this? He's already lost everything before they came to trial, before cucked ass England threw their case out and he had to bring it here to pursue it. Sorry about you true English. Sorry about you true Irish and true Scottish. You better stand up or you're going to be gone before very long. You'll get stomped out. You'll die off. You'll have to move. Whatever it's going to be. Ain't that a bitch? Free Ross, can we get to 420 likes? Oh, man. 503 of y'all sitting in the box right now. And it's my pleasure to host every single one of you, even if you hate my guts. See, that's the whole point of free speech. That's the whole point. And the fact that you're in here listening to somebody that you hate, guess what? I got to give you a little bit of credit for that. Maybe some of this will sink in. You don't have to agree with everything, but you can't challenge what's true. And there aren't alternative facts. There aren't two sets of reality. There's just the made up shit and there's everything else. Angler MGTOW, BPD. Yes, it's a big fucking win. That's a big win to have that come out on the stand like that. DMM Destroyer, BPD is evil. I don't know that it's evil. I know that it's an unfortunate side effect of an unbalanced mind. I don't know what happened to her. And maybe I'll piss some of you off by saying this. I have the greatest sympathy of people that suffer mentally. But it is not an excuse to be a vile, villainous human being. All the money in the world, all the fucking resources in the world. There aren't very many people that are richer and better off than Amber Heard. Decided not to take care of it. Decided not to do therapy, real therapy, not feminized psychology. Feminized psychology is not therapy. That's doubling down on the sponge cake that's between your ears. Jerron Markel, Amber's acting technique is Richard Simmons' tearless crying. Yeah. Yeah, she's awful. She's awful. And I'm not letting Johnny Depp off the hook. He's kind of awful too. But it's very clear out of the two of them who was being beaten and battered and taken advantage of, who was being coerced. It's very clear that the one that was diagnosed with BPD on the fucking stand was the one that ran an international smear campaign against him. And she was also telling him, I'm going to get that Pirates of the Caribbean money. You ain't going nowhere. And that's what we talk about. Abolish all gender laws. There should be law. If there's going to be any law, the law should be in neutral. It should be reflected in neutrality, right? If that human over there fucks up and that human over there is the victim, regardless of sex, color, race, creed, then there's a price to be paid. And by God, you will pay the price. And women everywhere are paying the fucking price right now. They're paying for the sins of their mothers and their grandmothers and their great-grandmothers. And you see a million of them on TikTok right now today. I just don't understand. Oh, where did all the good men go? Define good, bitch. Define good. What's good? What's good? Well, he's going to have a car and a house. He's going to make 7 figures. See how it went up from 6 figures to 7 figures? What the fuck? Are you joking? You know how many people don't make that? 98% of the world don't make that. Has nothing to do with your crack fucking head, unrealistic expectations of life, does it? Well, he's got a weird big toe. Other than that, I'd marry him. Fuck you. Go jump off a bridge, homie. Women are under the microscope. And now, damn it, I bumped my thing. Ain't that annoying? That's so annoying. And I went to the other camera. Hold on a second. I got to fix this motherfucker. There you go. Just a little bump on that USB and it cuts everything off. I got to fix that shit. That is so annoying. Oh, in case you didn't see, Aladdin's Castle, man. That's the first arcade that I walked into. And what an impression Aladdin's Castle made on me in 1981. I wish there was something like that today. There's only one Aladdin's Castle left in this country. Just like there's only 3 Kmarts left in this country. I don't think there's any Sears left in this country. If there are, they're headed out of business. They're out of business. Fools! This is just great. I don't know, man. What's great? What's great about just being able to speak your mind and talk without having some censorious piece of shit from YouTube or Google or Alphabet Corporation come down and cut your signal off? Oh, man, we can't have that shit. Get that motherfucker off that camera. Fuck you. Feral ravage. Honestly, if we had a movement like feminists, it should be stop simping. Oh, it's already here, man, because simping kills. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Look, if you still have the ability to walk away from somebody after you've simped, your body is walking away from them. You know what I'm saying? Your spirit is DOA, is dead on arrival. It didn't make it to the next destination where your feet were walking to. Every motherfucker knows what it's like to simp and die right there on the scene. Everybody does. Minnesota Jude, cops are not our friends. No, they're not. They're employees of the state. There are so many videos out here now with former cops, current cops, and all. There's just a few bad apples, man. No, homie. Those are the ones that stepped over the line. Those are the ones that executed another human being because they're standing on their arms and their legs. Well, you ain't standing on your arms unless you're especially gifted, but you know what I'm talking about. You're on your hands and your knees, and you go to pull your underwear up, and you get murdered. Murdered. Daniel Shaver, anybody? Murdered by some fucking freak that has no business in a cop uniform. That's what you get for lowering your standards for police officers, for lowering your standards for the military, for EMS, for fire crews. Because now the people that can do it, they're working twice as hard to cover up for the motherfuckers that make mistakes. Lots of mistakes. Cops are not your friends. That's a public relations nightmare for them to try to figure out. How can we make these servants of law and order more appealing to the masses so we can fuck them gently, so to speak? But that's not what we're in here to talk about, gents. We're in here to talk about why the foundation of feminism, of the Western dirtbag, is crumbling, why it's falling apart right in front of your face. And it is. You don't just see cracks. That whole motherfucker's coming apart. Sides are falling off the framework. It's coming apart, homie. And the only way that it's going to continue to fall and continue to fail is if you do the right thing. What's the right thing, Hammer? Well, in my very humble opinion, it is don't fund the people that hate you. Don't give money to Disney because Disney hates you, especially if you're a normal man of European descendants. They hate you. God help you if you're a black man of African descent that's not towing the Democratic Party line. They really fucking hate you. They worked so hard to keep you in chains, and you show them no gratitude. None. Suckers. What's wrong with y'all? You should show some gratitude. You know that, right? Blee. On the news here in Australia, they're complaining about people thinking that police, are your friends. No. Police are not your friends. They're not your friends. How often, unless it's just happenstance or chance, does a police officer show up to prevent a crime? Now, it does happen because they happen to be in the right spot at the right time to catch it, to see it. Okay, but that's a function of what they are, not what they do. They're cleanup men with authority. They show up to accidents. They show up to murders. They're dispatched while somebody's sawing a fucking relative's head off. And that's it. They're cleanup guys. And if there's anything left Then they process what's left so it can be monetized out here in the world or in prison. That's it. That's it. They ain't your fucking friend. They deserve every bit of suspicion that they have, and it's been a long time coming. It's way overdue. That goes for the CIA, it goes for the FBI, it goes for your Congress, it goes for your Senate, and it especially goes to that dementia-ridden fuck sitting in the big chair. From the top to the bottom, they're all fucked up. They're all sitting there fighting for a piece of the pie, and 350 million Gomers are just sitting around there. What are we going to do about that? Free Ross. Sandman said in a recent video that they're after the abortion bill because of declining birth rates. I thought as much. It wouldn't surprise me one bit. Do you do you really think that those people that engage in the obscenity of corporatism, do you think that those motherfuckers are not being talked to? Of course they're being talked to. Of course they know about birth rates in the toilet, in the fucking toilet, all over the West. Japan, Korea, Canada, Australia, barely Australia and barely Canada can replicate itself. Japan and Korea, they're done. They're done. You'd have to cut them off from the rest of the world for 100 years to get them back to that place. That's why this abundance of people that can't stop reproducing are being shuttled into your country, your state. They don't give a fuck about their humanitarian crisis. They care about what gears and levers they can turn and pull. That's one more reason that feminism is failing. It's failing, gentlemen. It's on the way out. If you want to make feminism great again, I ain't with you. I ain't with you. You got everything that feminism sat out to give you. And I mean give you. You didn't fight for nothing. You didn't fight for nothing. If you're abroad in this stream right now and you're watching this, we fought for nothing. Nada. Zippo shitto. You fought for nothing. Nothing. You were born into an incredible position in life, paid for in blood by all the men around you. And they're still paying for it in blood. And I think they're a little drained. I think they're a little bit tired of that. I don't think they're going to do it anymore. I hardly meet a man today in all walks of life, because I associate with them all, that is willing anymore to go out there. Unless he's an old cat, real old. It's hard to break them old dogs, man. They're going to die on that hill, and that's okay. That's okay. But if you're 40, 45, I'm not meeting anybody that's 40, 45 and younger that's in the workforce that's talking about, I got to set my wife and kids up, man. Oh, no, that's not happening. That's not happening. Trickster 66, nah, it's over. Andrew King with a whole bunch of 9s. They really just had to get simps to die for the cause. And they don't mind dying for the cause. How many times do you pick up a paper or turn on your internet connection to the news? Sucker is dead, shooting overnight. And you find out that it was 2 men beefing over a bitch. If you walk in on your broad, well, whoever she's loaning herself out to at the time. Let's just say it's you. You walk in and you find her, and somebody else is pumping and grunting. Walk back out. Get your shit, get your keys, and don't turn around. There's no need to argue. There's no need. We got a family. We got a life. We got kids. We got nothing. You got nothing now. Nothing. By the time you catch her, she's well entrenched in somebody else's ass. You see? By the time you catch her, she's already into somebody or something else. You're getting sloppy seconds. She goes to them to get her rocks off. You get the pity sex. Because you're reliable. Because you're a good guy. $400, 4,005 player, nothing. Giveth them nothing. Not a fucking thing. Zool! It's always the other guy's fault, though. It should not be. It should not be. It shouldn't be. That guy is doing what blue pill nature, what normie nature dictates to him. He's doing what women dictate to him. It's okay, baby. You don't have to have any morals, ethics, values, principles. You don't have to control your biology. I'm opening the magic cave. Come on. Get the fuck in here. Get in there and get that shit. Play with her cervix. She's telling you that it's good. Oh, we're separated. I was sitting in bed with a woman years ago, playing with her titties, getting ready to take her underwear off. And she fucked up and said something that aroused my suspicion. And I still had my underwear on. And I said, what was that? So, oh, well, my husband will be back tomorrow. I said, fucking husband? Oh, no, we're separated. I said, where does he live? Well, here. I got up. I put my drawers back on. I put my shirt on. And I says, I can't do that. There's not enough degrees of separation here. I can't do that. I got to go. And I got up and I left. That's what you're supposed to do. You can't be so hungry and starved for attention, for love, for somebody to feel it the way that you feel it, that you are willing to sacrifice every fucking thing that you are and potentially get your goddamn head blown off. Because you know how emotional the vast majority of men are. You right there, you're not the vast majority. You're the ones that have woke up. You're the ones that you smell something's fucked up with the Matrix. Channel 1800, dumb. Hammer is too ethical and smart for that. I didn't used to be. That was the one fucking bridge that I wouldn't cross. You see, that guy didn't know me. He didn't know nothing about me. And she was willing to sit there and lie her ass off. She made a mistake. And if she hadn't made the mistake, I probably wouldn't have known about it. And we would have probably gone farther than what we did. And I never saw her again. And I never talked to her again. Fool me once. You know the rest. If they're willing to lie to you once, they're always willing to lie to you. Because as long as you stick around, you're proving that you don't have what it takes to break away, to hold them accountable. That's what we've been lacking. And that's what this Amber Heard, Johnny Depp bullshit really boils down to. The lack of accountability for women is coming to an end. I don't know if she wins this or if he wins this. I don't know. What I know is that is what is on the line. Keep going down this fucking road that they're on, or somebody throws up a roadblock, gets a backhoe, digs the middle out of the road and says, on this side, you go no far. You go no farther. That is what is on the line. I'm not cheering because it's a man on the other side or a woman on the other side. I'm cheering because there's some type of accountability. God damn it. I did it again. Of course, it's going to go back to this motherfucking camera. Bear with me for a minute while I fix my retarded shit. Ay, caramba. I swear to God, I really got to get a new fucking deal here. There you go. We're back to normal now. Ben Gordon, eyes wide fucking open. I think that a lot of people Their eyes are wide fucking open. There was this TikTok thought. Now, I've stitched her before on TikTok. Now, if you don't know what that is, that just means basically button up your opinion next to her video or a portion of her video, which can easily allow people to take shit out of context and then try to straw man an argument that was never there. But I don't do that. I stitched her once because I thought that she had a reasonable opinion on something. Well, turns out she's a wildin' ass feminist. She's a wildin' feminist. And she had this bizarre, ultra whack take on the whole herd depth shit. And she got fucking roasted. I mean, roasted. And she's coming on TikTok and she's crying. She got the little tears streaming down. I can't stop doing all of this. I can't even give an opinion. And then she had a whole new crop of motherfuckers that jumped in on that, stitched that, and told her what's up. It's not that you can't have an opinion. It's that your opinion is fucking whack. You want people to recognize female victims of sexual assault or rape or some kind of filthy trudgery, but you laugh at men. That's why you got roasted, dummy. And that's why you will continue to get roasted as long as you hold takes and viewpoints and opinions that bitches are infallible and everything wrong with them is because of somebody else. That's where your life's going to be. Get a cat. I feel sorry for the cat. Don't take my advice. Don't get a cat. I like cats. Get a lizard. No, don't get a fucking lizard. They're greenskins. I like greenskins. Fuck it. Get a bottle of wine. Get 2 bottles of wine. Dirty bitches. MGTOW outlaw, a 304, finally getting held accountable. Not just any, but a high-profile 304. Oh, and gentlemen, before I go any farther, I have dug into the communist Marxist side of fuckery on TikTok. Oh, yes. And I've dug into 4 or 5 of the people over there that are causing most of the problems, that lead brigades against other users, other creators, because they think like the person that's chirping and parroting out all of that Marxism and communism, all of these goofballs that follow them. They go and they raid on these other people. They get their accounts suspended and taken down. I've picked out 4 or 5 of them, and I'm going to be doing an expose on all 4 or 5 of them. Depends. One of them's somewhat questionable. We'll see. And I'm going to show you what communist TikTok looks like. And I'm going to show you why it's such a danger. Now, free speech is not a danger. You can have all the free speech that you want. You can say anything that you want until you cross a certain line. Free speech is wonderful, but you don't have freedom from the consequences of free speech. That old adage, if you yell fire in a movie theater and somebody gets hurt or killed, you'll be held responsible for it because of your free speech. See, that's rational. That's reasonable. But when you give an opinion on somebody's bullshit take, whether you like it, whether you hate it, whether you're in the middle somewhere, and then they scream, harassment! Oh man, he's a misogynist! He hates bitches. That's what you get over there. Constantly. These people feel like they are beyond reproach because they have 1 million or 2 million or 500,000 subs. You see? And they go above and beyond. And when I say that those motherfuckers are dedicated to the craft of unpersoning other people, they are dedicated to their craft. And you cannot take them lightly. So I'll be bringing you that here. Not in the too distant future, but not super, super quick either. The rest of this month is going to be spent entertaining my son at Indianapolis with a couple of races. And then we'll get on to it honestly in June. Master Mean, fuck. And I hate it when this fucking thing jumps like that. Master, I'm sorry, bro. I was going to read your comment, but couldn't get it. Couldn't get it. Sorry about that. Michael Guevara, thanks for the tip off at Dick Marks. Working dude crying, pooping everywhere. Well, that sounds kind of fucked up. Yeah, she's crazy, man. She's crazy. You can't call her crazy, man. You can't do that. Fuck you. She's crazy. Crazy. You have a turlet at your disposal, and you spiteful, vindictive cunt, you shit on a man's pillow. You bunk up and shit on his pillow. You get crazy points for that one. You get crazy points for that. Insane motherfucker. Get down the road on this one a little bit. Oh no, there she is, man. She's making them cry faces. And I don't see one tear. Look at the little tissue. Look at her trying so hard to squeeze a couple of them out, and they just won't come. And she talking about, God damn, this bipolar disorder. Oh man, I can't cry right now. Look at her trying. Look at the way she's squeezing them eyes together, man, trying to get that nose sweat to beat up. Disgusting bitch. Volunteer Irish, crocodile tears. Yeah, man. Davina Duckworth, terrible actress. Too much plastic surgery to move her face. I don't know if she's had any work done. She probably has. You know, somebody that's as incredibly fucking vain as she is. Yeah. Mr. Hate Vicious in his house. Good to see you, sir. Hope everything's going all right out there in AZ. Hope everything's cool. Skippy McGenkins. Herd dropping turds. Vitless. The guy has super mansions with dozens of toilets. Yeah. He's got everything that you need. He's got everything that you would need. Free Ross, those tears ain't human. Oh, she's a reptilian. Get the fact checkers. Hammerhand just called that bitch a reptilian. Jonathan Gomez, she was snorting coke at one point. Shocker. Shocker. Angler MGTOW, Polska, are you streaming later? Singletown Bachelor, the turd is a turd. 615 of you dedicated humans watching this old motherfucker spurg on here. Going crazy. That's all right. We'll go crazy together. But you see what she's doing. You see all of those bleeding heart bitches out there that are watching this, and they're trying to live vicariously through her, right? My boyfriend wouldn't buy me an ice cream cone once. I feel your pain, sister. Chris McFizzle, I'll bet her box is trash. I guarantee you it is, man. You're being run through by a billionaire, by James Franco, by Johnny Depp, and other untold minions of evil. You know that fur hole is corrupt. It's corrupt. Don't get nowhere near that motherfucker. Lolo Costianity, herd immunity. This whole fucking thing right here, including this stream, is being promoted as herd immunity. You can watch these vipers get up on this stand and try to squeeze these fucking saline drops out of their ports while they're lying, squealing, bitching, and moaning. Because there's a lot at stake for her. She took this to the fucking wall. And we watched them all do it. A microcosm of that is every bitch that's ever been on Maury Povich about is you is or is you ain't my daddy. You feel me on that one? That's just some low-down broke bitch that's trying to pin a kid on somebody. I saw one, and I'm not saying it's the only one, where 12 men were tested for the 2-week period where she was conceiving. 12. And I'm sure that there's plenty of them that have had more. Half Squatch Hammerhand, glad to see you again. I'm glad to see you too, brother. Glad to see you in here. Northern Monster, wish a motherfucker would. Space Jew, Johnny Depp is a transformer. Fuck that motherfucker. If he is, fuck him if he ain't. Darth Hideous, you talking about Maury? That bitch was up to 19 when I saw it. I don't doubt that. Can you imagine the fucking sewer that vagina is? 19 guys in less than 2 weeks, stuffing it in there. Ugh. Disgusting. Ian Blades, you are not the father. R-Man at Traveling Man 49. I've known it as a bearded clam or a whisker biscuit or a muff glove. You heard of a muff glove? Have you heard of a snapper? There's a snapper. My brother calls it an angry clam. He knows all too well. Red Scout, don't be part of the nations. I don't know nothing about that one. Donna Lynn, she had everything women these days believe they want, and it still wasn't enough. Fuck her. I'm going to post that one, Donna. There you go. Of course she did. She got the fucking gigs that she got because of Johnny Depp's clout. And then she's got the fucking balls to sit there and go after the guy in every way that you can go after a person and abuse them, torture them, coerce them, pressure them. Does anybody here believe that she actually didn't pressure him into sexual contact at some point in time? I mean, it hasn't come up, but I don't think it's too far-fetched for somebody of her repute. Tex Bolivar, this trial is every bit as important as the Rittenhouse trial. I agree with you. Just on a different level, just in a different playing field. This is going to go a hell of a long ways towards burying Me Too and that believe all bitches shit, or strengthening it. There is a lot on the line. Driver Dad 71, Muff Glove, you've been hanging in my neck of the woods, Niagara Falls. Nah. Been through that area once. Muff Glove was something that some kid was talking to me about way back when. I said, what the fuck is a muff glove? He said, really? I said, what is a muff glove? Oh, man. Let me leave you alone for a minute. Okay. All right. It's cool, man. Fine. Don't help me out. I don't care. Craig Furness, the Stench Trench. Lion of MGTOW says axe wound or gash every once in a while. The fucking axe gash. The industrial accident covered up by pants. Christopher Michael, they're parasites. Yeah, Polska Bob says moose knuckle or camel toe. Yeah, there's a ton of fucking names for that dirty, filthy fucking little thing of flesh. And you know she's a fucking filth bag too. Rob Dizzle, of course she pressured him into porking that stank. The fuck bucket. There's another one. Fuck bucket. Probably mostly when she knew he was in a really bad mood or in pain or not feeling well. Probably. 4005 player industrial accident. Old boy's getting around on that one. Kevin McAllister, tuna tunnel. Yes, sir. Scott Blackmill, the portal to hell. Man, they're coming hard and fast. Oh, goodness gracious, man. Chrome Dome Omega. Pork. Michael Guevara at Shinobi One. The Inquisition approves this comment. There you go. Diver Dad, DNA Dumpster. That's another one that I heard Lion. I don't know if he coined it or not, but that's another one that I've heard him say. What? Filthy toilet, sewer, fucking pussy sewer, hair-covered sewer. Yeah, all kinds of good shit, man. What do we got on that one? The Marcus 30203, Arby's roast beef, Red Scout. How many horses are riding at the moment? A Manly Reloaded. I would only ever consider a woman if she's a good mother. Basically, I'm Monk. Well, there you go. There you go. Northern Monster, Lucifer's Gateway. In me power. Mr. Pliskin, Zinc Walker. Michael Gavere, get to the baton. Christopher Michael, I'm out USA. How about y'all? I don't know. It's going to depend on how things go over the next couple of years. It really is. It's just going to depend. You know, if we can get some sanity in the way that this country is governed, that'll make all the difference for me. I love my country. I don't love the people that run the country. And that's going on decades now. You'll get a spot here and there of sanity, but you would expect a leftist culture to elect leftist politicians to enact more control, which is what they do. It's what they want until they get it, and then they start squealing. By that point, it's too late. Jason Drew, amen, Hammerhand. Christopher Michael, stack your coin, protect your loins. They fuck $4. Nathan Payne, Captain Jack's Jizz Doc. Oh, shit. Electric Shrapnel Snot Pocket. Alucard 1776, Black Hole Skank Hole. Yes, sir. Josh Stewart, God bless Hammer. Good to see you well, boss. I am wonderful. Gentlemen, I am wonderful. And I've been wonderful for a long time now. We're just over the 1 hour and 3 minute mark. 577 of y'all in the house doing the thing. And you know I appreciate you, man, and I love you. I really do. And no homo. You didn't see that one coming, did you? I had somebody give me the business the other day in a comment. Well, was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. And they were talking about that I'm gynocentric because I decree sexual proclivities in men and women. How do you like trying to connect the dots on that one? I'm gynocentric because I recognize foulness in certain sexual behaviors. That makes me gynocentric, I guess. Oh, my goodness. Gentlemen, give me just a second here. I'm going to get up my drain the main vein, and I'm going to let you guys listen to a couple of tunes here, and I'll be right back. Back at it again. One more again. Yo, man. Yo. So what else is on the line? Why do you suppose these changes are taking place? What makes these people do the things that they do? Now, I'm not talking about the idiots that just follow their directions. You know, when you got idiots like Ilhan Omar or Rashida Tlaib, and they start stirring up shit like Maxine Waters or Pelosi or Feinstein, any of those idiots. They're morons and idiots. You know, I was watching Dianne Feinstein talk about the assassination of Harvey Milk. Our mayor and some other dude. Good shot. They're murdered. They're dead. When I tell you that inside the borders of the continental United States, there are 3, perhaps 4 distinct groups of Europeans, I am not kidding. With how long it took to spread from the original colonies, the original settlements, to the Midwest, to the gold rush, the expansion of the outer Midwest, and then finally to the Pacific coast. It took a long time. Long time. It took a long time to populate it. And there's a whole bunch of different influences all throughout this country. Very strange shit. Very strange shit. Northern Monster, my ass is German. What's the rest of you? I'm just curious. Bob Jones, I was in my late 30s when my sex drive started to dip. I call it the great calming. Well, if I wasn't able to control mine, it would be much, much more fierce now today than it was then. So that's why you have to control your biology. You have to put things into perspective. You got to be able to you have to be able to prioritize what you do in life. And you can't be a victim of something called biology. You can't be a victim. You can't be that guy that says, I just couldn't help it, man. Putting on a condom ruins the feeling. You know that that's propaganda. I'm not saying that it doesn't feel different. It feels different. But putting on a condom saves you from 18 to 21 years of baby jail. Now, if you want kids, that's a different story. If you ain't in a position to do that, you're going to get ruined. Ruined. And I'm not talking about the one guy out there that has $1 million that can afford it. Even if you had $1 million, they would adjust that pay scale. You wouldn't be able to afford it. It's terrible shit, ain't it? Isn't it ridiculous to have to listen to people when they start talking about how much they pay for things that are outside of the influence, the sphere in their life, for things that they normally would have never paid for or contemplated paying for? Now, all of a sudden, it's something that they've got to do. They have to do it now because they're legally compelled, which, let me walk that back a little bit. They're not legally compelled. They think that they are legally compelled. I was watching some cocksucker attorney on here last night talking about, the sovereign citizen thinks that child support is optional. It is optional. It is optional. Does it come with consequences? It can. But it is optional. Now, if you're into taking care of your children's needs, like I am, because I don't abandon my responsibilities, and no shade at any man that walked away from a crazy fucking bitch and left that kid sitting. I wouldn't suggest that you do it, but I understand saving your life and your sanity and making that choice. That's something that's entirely 100% up to you. And I hope that you never have to make the choice. The populist pimp PPT, who doesn't eat $25,000 a month in food? Yeah, man. How about those $1 million checks or $2 million checks that Dr. Dre's cutting to that venomous cunt? I was just looking at some old Dan Aykroyd stuff, and I came across his divorce decree. He and Donna Dixon have been together for 40 years. I remember Donna Dixon in Bosom Buddies with Tom Hanks and Peter Scolari. That's where Tom Hanks and Donna Dixon got their start. Peter Scolari did other things, but he never really blew up like those two did. And nobody blew up like Hanks. I remember Donna Dixon in Dr. Detroit. Do you? It's a little on the hammy side, but it's fun as hell to watch. It also has Dan Aykroyd in it. Oh, excuse me, gents. I'm going to take a draw off this straw. Sorry if you could hear that. Mr. Pliskin, Ghost Nation. Gentlemen, there is no better time for you to be a ghost, for you to ghost in plain sight. Every time I turn on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook videos or YouTube video compilations, and I hear 50 or 60 or 80 or 1,000 bitches squealing, he ghosted me, man. It was like everything was going great. And, all of a sudden I'm unfriended, and I'm unread, and I'm blocked. And what happened? Yo mama. That's the only time I can get away with a yo mama joke. Yo mama happened, and your grandmama happened. See, you weren't told that you dictate the way that culture flows. Now, it won't always be this way, but for the last 50 years, it has been this way. Yo mama, yo grandmama, and in some cases, yo great-grandmama formed, sat in, marinated in this toxic piece of shit culture that leftism produces. I won't tell you that some of the righties out there ain't fucked up, because they are too. But we all have to admit that leftism runs the culture for now. You can see, smell, and hear the cracks in the foundation. This motherfucker is falling apart. It's falling apart. Feminism achieved its end goal 50 years ago. All of the other little nitpicky shit, that can be dealt with, like harassment, legitimate harassment of one human being to the next. That can be dealt with. Things can be modified. Certain things can be installed. But you can't go crazy. You can't have knee-jerk reactions to something that comes along like this. It has to be measured. And it's clear that this government, in whatever form it takes, is not good at measuring anything. Traveling Man 94, debtor's prison has a new name. It's called contempt of court. Yes, it is. And should yours truly ever get charged with contempt of court or something of that nature, I'll gladly pack it in and have my last fucking meal right there on that cold concrete floor. If that's what you want, if that's what your government wants, give it to them. Or you can flee to New Mexico, or the actual Mexico, or Thailand, or Nippon, wherever you want to go, I guess. That'll take you, that doesn't have an extradition treaty with this country. Most countries do. Blee blee, I surprised that they're not rolling out the red carpet for Amber Heard and reporting what the whore is wearing. I mean, look how prim and proper she's trying to look. Look at the look of concern. I loved Johnny. He was amazing. Oh, if he had just wouldn't have fought back against me, we could still be loving each other today. Fuck that bitch. A Manly Reloaded. Marriage as we know it is not natural. I agree with you. Rings are a fabrication of love. Yes, they are. The ceremony of two hearts ended when we stopped thinking from our hearts, which was done to us in a very well-oiled system. I agree with you. The De Beers Company, for instance, are the ones that started the Give That Bitch a Diamond campaign. What? Your man can't afford a diamond? He doesn't love you enough. Those are actual ads from the 1920s. And of course, they target bitches so that the bitches can target men. And that's the way that it happens. You see? There's a hierarchy of fuckery. I think we all know that, don't we? Athos, diesel shortages inbound. Get your preps, gents. I was told today that appliances, washers, dryers, microwaves, there's a 6-month waiting list. Now, it's not to say that you can't go into Walmart and find one. I'm talking about industrial. But that's kind of significant. Not trying to drive panic, just trying to tell you to keep your eyes open. Make sure that you have your stores available. If you start to get pinched, you at least want to be able to eat. Raul Diaz, be ready for the shitstorm that is coming, that is already here. You know, they manufacture the proverbial shitstorm, and we don't see it for 9 months, a year, 24 months. But we know who to pin it on. All of them. Fuck those motherfuckers. Have you been paying attention to Miss Heard here while she's desperately trying to wound herself so that she can actually cry? I mean, I've been paying attention to it. Here we go. Come on, look at her. Look at her. She's trying to think of like dead puppies and children being run over by buses to make herself cry, to get a little emotional. Fuck that bitch. Ross 10, is super chat working? Are you kidding me? Do you really think that these motherfuckers would give me an opportunity to collect a few shekels? Of course not. Of course not. The second that this channel was able to be monetized, I got 2 strikes. You know how they play the game, just like I know how they play the game. And that brings me to something that I wanted to talk to you gents about today. I will be doing from now on, all of my long-form comment and commentaries will be going on Odyssey. I am going to download this channel, push it over to Odyssey. The channel will stay here. It will remain as long as YouTube is generous enough to let this motherfucker stay. I'm not an actual motherfucker, not anymore. But as long as they let this channel stay, it's going to be a shorts channel. It's going to be a shorts channel, and it's going to be short form commentary. In the next few days, probably the next couple of weeks or so, I'm going to finish the Trials series. I don't know how many videos will be in that, but I'm going to finish that series. And then I'm going to take everything, all the long form content is going to go over to the new channel. And then I will have 3 Hammerhand channels over there with 1,500 videos. 1,500, that's not so bad, is it? It's pretty good. Pretty good. And I've got another 1,700 on the MGTOW Mirror project. 14, 15, 16 pages over on the MGTOW Mirror. You can check them out anytime that you want, gang. Anytime that you want. This is uncharacteristic for me, but you asked me about super chats. No super chats, but you can, if you wish, you can hit that link that's pinned at the top of the comment section, and that'll take care of that. And they chew off a lot less. I wouldn't super chat even if I could, because I don't pay YouTube. PayPal is not that much better, but I don't pay YouTube. Fuck YouTube. Like I said many, many times, the only reason that I'm here is to try to catch some of these guys that are coming into this so that the really shitty humans that preach our philosophy and lace it with sabotage don't catch them first. Vitless, check out the Coke advertising. They know how to merchandise their label. Yeah. Thumper the sweaty fat guy. I'm going to start using Rumble so I can speak my damn mind without having to spell everything wrong. Right on, man. Joshua Sinclair. Uh-oh, that just jumped. Brother Hammerhand, just wanted to say hi. Keep up the good fight. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Joshua. I appreciate that, my friend. Thank you very much. Lord Maury, welp, you are the last push I needed. I'll have to check out Odyssey. Go do that, man. It doesn't take that long to get set up. It's a little on the unwieldy side, because they use like internal cryptos. It's not bad. It doesn't take that long to get used to. It really doesn't. It was, in my opinion, it was a lot faster and a lot better than BitChute. I wanted to stay on BitChute, but the fucking site is so unwieldy that it was a pain in the ass. So no thanks. I ain't doing this so I can be inconvenienced by the fucking platform too. Mr. McKinnon, Coca-Cola Bottling Company is the company that invented subliminal advertising. Yes, I know. If you're thirsty for a Coke and don't know why, because it's written into your permanent memory, this is somewhat true. And they would also clip 1 or 2 frames out of movies and insert a Coke advertisement. And they would monitor when that particular frame flashed, or 2 frames or 3 frames, whatever it was. When it flashed past the viewer, they had a noticeable spike every single time that they did it, where they sold Coca-Cola products, even if it was in the middle of a show. People would get up in numbers and get out of the show when they had no reason to, and go get a Coke. So your mind is very powerful, but it's also very susceptible to manipulation. That's why you have to strengthen your mind. Success pool endeavors. Odyssey is free speech. Hydrostatic BitChute has the worst search engine. Yeah, it's not great, man. I'm going to tell you, for as long as they've been on there and as long as they've been collecting fucking money, look, I don't mind people doing fund drives, but 3 years? Get the fuck out of here. Feral Android, BitChute never got better. No, it didn't. Teufelsund, did I get that right? Teufelsund? You said you had 3 on Odyssey. I got 2 of them. I will have 3. Once I download this channel and put all of this channel's content over there, I will have 3 of them. And that's just so that you can have access to the past channels that have been deleted. I'll operate primarily off of the one that's been downloaded most recently. And I've also got the American Open Wheel Racing channel over there, and I've got Pop Culture Rocks over there. So do yourselves a favor, gents. Check it out, because we are a man of many talents. People like to paint brushes. He's just a hater. He's just a misogynist. Oh, man, he's evil. But he can draw, too. He can do audio video production, too. He can take pictures, too. Guy's got some talent. Not too bad. Vitless. Yeah. Jägermeister tables get me at bike rallies. I bet they do. MGTOW Maddie. If Johnny wins this, we need to have a stream and rewatch the turd crying. Hell, we could do a compilation of her crying. Well, look, I've been running this one for almost an hour of this particular clip. It's like an hour and 14 minutes long. And I've been running it for almost an hour because, I've cut it off a couple of times. But the whole time she's been trying to cry. Look at the makeup on her face. There's nothing wrong with the makeup on her face. She hasn't squeezed out a tear in this temperature-controlled room where she's fighting for her very life. And I'm not joking with you. She's fighting for her narcissistic NPD life. When she loses this case, and I'm fairly confident that she will, and she has to pay out millions to Johnny Depp for ruining him, it's going to set these bitches back decades in their quest to become men. Well, let's just be real. Let's just drop all of the pretense. They are 100% aware that they're not as good as we are. They're not as valuable as we are. If they were, this would not be a discussion. If I have to empower you with my kindness and my good graces, I can take it away. You see? And you're in the stage right now, bitches, where we're taking it away. We are retracting our consent to be fucked in the ear hole. No, thank you, ma'am. I don't want another. Lolo Costianity. Johnny didn't hit her because she have herd immunity. A Manly Reloaded. But what it took Big Shoot 3 years, MGTOW TV does in a day. I agree with you. That's why I think that there's something else going on with BitChute. And that's why I got off of BitChute, because I don't want to be a part of whatever it is when it goes down. If they get their shit together, there is the possibility that I will drop back in, start another account, and just download 1,000 videos, just so that the library will be out there. We'll see. I have people get so fucking mad at me. They're like, man, why ain't you on the other 77 alternative platforms? It's because I'm one fucking guy. That's why. Because there's only so much I can do in a day. You know, that's just what it is. And if that's what makes you mad, I'm sorry, but I think that that's kind of a finicky thing to get upset about. The populist pimp should go back to hair sluttery where she belongs. She'll find some fucking sucker in her sphere. She's probably already got them lined up. Let's not play around here. She's already got them lined up, and she's just waiting for this to get over. Win, lose, there will be no draw. Win or lose, and she'll be on to somebody else. Can you believe how dirty they did me? And with all of the evidence that has been presented in this stupid fucking trial, some idiot will have heard it all and believe her. That's what they want. Total ambivalence to any kind of truth. Total dedication to the spoken word of the female. Because we got to be equal. We got to fix the pay gap. Ghost MGTOW. I knocked up a girl like Amber Turd. I'm sorry for you, brother. MGTOW Cowboy. We are embroiled in a gender war. Unfortunately, we have been for decades. The fortunate part is that I think normal everyday folks are starting to become aware of it. They became aware of the Marxist communist infestation in their schools, and they're kicking their asses out of the schools. Now, it's going to take some doing, but they'll get them out, and they'll get them out of the colleges. Plain and simple, we should have a much more effective screening process for allowing anyone around kids because of how malleable they are, because of how they can be shaped. And we all see that it doesn't work out well for these folks down the road. When they're able to think for themselves, they're fucked up. There's a very low rate for them transformers. Very low rate for them to stay transformed. They live with mental pain and doubt and fear. And some of them, especially the ones that have gone through with the top and the bottom surgeries, you can't fix it. You've mutilated your body, and there is no going back. So you have to be really fucking comfortable with that, at least publicly, because when you're alone at night and there's nobody laying next to you because your Megatron ain't a Megatron no more, guess what? You got to live with it. Blessed Veteran Adventures. Bro, have you seen Bree toes? No, but I did see her pussy hole on the very first, I am not joking, on the very first YouTube video she made. She got down next to her bed, and she's so bad at what she does. She had these loose-ass fucking pajama shorts on, and she crossed her legs over, and for like 2 seconds, her pussy is in plain sight. I will say one thing about Brie Larson. She has some spectacular tits. Spectacular. If those are normal and natural and they haven't been worked on, It's like molto bello to Jesus. Holy shit. They're magnificent. I can appreciate a bitch even if I can't stand her in that fashion. Not much more. Vanish Mantle. I would like to thank women for showing me that they are not worth the effort or time, especially when there is nothing for me to gain by being with you. I agree. When I say control your biology, gentlemen, that's one of the things that I speak of. We didn't really have to do a lot. All you have to do is understand that whatever face they're showing you is not their natural face. It's not their normal face. They're kissing on you or trying to love on you or trying to soft soap you into something. Well, that's because they want something. It's not because of kindness. It's not the goodness of their heart that is showing through. It's their lack of integrity. It's just what they do. Walt. I know somebody's going to say, no, man, no, Jesus, no, it's not Walt. I've been married for 30 years. Okay, congratulations. I hope you stay married until you die. You should. I hope you can make it work. Dan Aykroyd didn't make it work. Donna Dixon probably didn't want it to work. Which one of those two people do you think pulled the trigger on 40 years of shared history? Do you think it was him or do you think it was her? I don't even have to think about it. It was her. It was her. She divorced him. You think at 20 years, you're golden. You know at 30 years, grandkids are in the picture. That family legacy is secured. At 39 years, you're like, oh, yeah, baby, we're getting boxed up together. And then 40 fucking years together, somebody hands you divorce papers. Maybe she didn't divorce him. Maybe he divorced her, but I doubt it. If he divorced her, it's probably something that she's done. Now, I don't know that for a fact, but probably. Dan Aykroyd seems like he's pretty mild and meek anyways. So we'll see. Who knows? It'll come out in a year or so. You know, they were having fucking whack-ass wild orgies and one of them fell in love with a slewer behind a dumpster. Who the fuck cares? Maelstrom, shame those with great tits are attached to hammer. Yes, I agree with you. I agree. I can't stand looking at something that is massively attractive to me, knowing that there's a fucking lizard person in there waiting to slip its skin. Blech. Disgusting. Singletown Bachelor, did we get your Odyssey channel links? I would like to ask. Yes, Success Pool Endeavors has posted those. Thank you very much, Success Pool. I appreciate that. Feral Android, she has a flat ass. That's the downside. When you turn her around, she don't have an ass. It goes right from spinal column to vulva. I mean, what the fuck? How can you have such contradictions in features on the same broad? It's unbelievable. Key Ken, it's very important to know you can't kill demons. No, but you can learn how to deal with them. You can learn how to deal with them. You can learn how to protect yourself. Morals, ethics, values, and principles, gentlemen. Control your biology. Do the things that are best for you in life, and those that you choose to incorporate into your life will benefit directly from your hard work if you want them to. It's that simple. Americus DeVille, dumpster diving, baby. Scott Farkas, just because a woman might be red-pilled doesn't mean that she's not a woman. What? Just because a woman might be red-pilled doesn't mean that she's not a woman. I'm not following you on that. I think I'm simple today right now. I'm just not following that. Wicked's Bane, Sifu means master. Is Sifu Black Irish in here? A manly reloaded Bree is a man. That's why. I don't know if it turned out that was actually the case. Would it surprise me? No. Do you know why it wouldn't surprise me? Because I've seen the incredible fucking work that goes into transforming a male body, male anatomy, into female anatomy in Southeast Asia. Oh, man. They're an entirely different community of people over there. Now, you see, they live peacefully with other folks, with the men, with the women. They are their own class of person, you see. But they do have IDs that, when requested, they have to say if they're a boy or if they're a girl. There are tells, but they're getting harder and harder and harder to find. So if you're fucking around with anyone, and I mean anyone in Southeast Asia, make sure that you ask them for their identification. Plain and simple. Before you kiss them, before you snuggle up with them, unless, of course, burning it at both ends is your speed. I wouldn't suggest that you do it, though. Zool, I think he means even if a woman knows red pill knowledge, she's still a woman and the nature doesn't change. Well, if that's what he means, then that's acceptable. Yes, and that's true. And you are, of course, broaching into another subject where a shit ton of women now are positing to men that they are red-pilled. No, no, no. You may have awareness, but if you're really red-pilled, you're out there marching to correct injustices. Plain and simple. Or you're on YouTube with a channel screaming to the fucking sky about the injustices. And you're going to take a lot of flack because there's millions and millions of men out here that are going to call you a fucking chameleon. Because guess what? 99.9 out of 100 of you are. You don't care about the injustice as much as you care about what you're not getting. And that's how we know where you're coming from. Because it always comes out, especially the more comfortable you get around us. Spec Ops, Quad Zero, Walt. A Manly Reloaded. There's also in they're also in high politics. That is why they're brainwashing our kids. It wouldn't surprise me. 10 years ago, I would have been genuinely shook. Today, nothing like that would surprise me because we've seen it happen. We've seen it come to fruition. I mean, for fuck's sakes, look at that thing that was promoted by Biden, that goofy motherfucker that went to high school or college years anyways with General, I want to understand white rage Milley. You fucking moron. What a moron. Minnesota Jude. She's post-wall and red-pilled. Nope. 25-year-old grandpa incel. Are you shouting me out unironically? At Hammerhand, crack is whack. That's why you feed her the sack. Unless the family courts will break your back. Man, we got to put that on a tune. That's worthy of posting. We're going to post that. Maelstrom. The old scam is not working. Not anymore, it's not. Not anymore, it's not. Jody Clintworth, I remember Aladdin's Castle. Man, I loved Aladdin's Castle, homeboy. Walking into that Aladdin's Castle in the brand new Citadel Mall that my mother helped open with the opening of Morrison's Cafeteria. She was a waitress. Some of the very first people to set foot in that mall in 1981. We were some of the first people in the theaters right down across the street there. But I will never forget walking into Aladdin's Castle and being bombarded by the sights and the sounds of those stand-up video games. The first game that we played was the Journey game. Do you know that one? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But it was fun, and you got to hear music that you could only hear on the radio. See, folks today do not have any clue what it was like in 1981. You might as well have been in 1881. That's the difference. From then to now, and then a century back. That's the difference. We have advanced dramatically with our shit and regressed dramatically mentally. I guess it is what it is. Scott Farkas, the Journey game was one of the few that actually played well on Atari also. I never played it on Atari. Is that a 2600 or a 5200? Excuse me. I will save you the trouble of having to look at Amber Heard's fucking face while she attempts to squeeze out some tears for the last hour or so. You know why this legal case is as important as it is. It's important not because I want to see a woman damaged, not because I want to see a man damaged, but because I want to peel the veil off of the public when it comes to lying, filthy, skanky bitches. She's a multi-millionaire, and she acts this way. Now you start connecting the dots. You had another actress in 2014 that accused Mark Pearson of sticking 3 fingers in her pussy in a subway when he walked past her in a crowded subway. The entire interaction was caught on CCTV. She was an actress, Game of Thrones, right? Some stupid ass old woman. And do you know what her motivation for that was? Well, she's never said it, at least to my knowledge, not publicly, but because he was white. Because he's a white man, and you got to teach that white patriarchy a fucking lesson. Emily Linden said it best. If she has to victimize and destroy a few innocent people, she's okay with that. That's an infamous tweet. Do you know how many people agreed with that? Tens of thousands. Don't think for 1 second that the girl that you think is kind and cute and she's the bitch next door, that she doesn't have this shit embedded in her. She does. And it can go off just like that at any point in time. You don't have to do anything wrong. It's like a Manchurian candidate being activated. It's like the fucking Winter Soldier in a dress. Start speaking them Russian words and the bitch is like, crazy motherfuckers. Zool, that'd be the quickest fingering of all time. That's exactly what she said. That's exactly what she said. The English police in Waterloo Station saw the CCTV. They saw the entire interaction, and they still prosecuted him. For 2 years, they ran that fucking guy through the ringer. There's more at work there, much more at work there than incompetence. Much more. Lord Maury, my eyes are on fire. Odyssey fresh out of the box is recommending trans porn? What? The only thing I looked up were you and Crow. What? Really? On Odyssey? See, I haven't looked for that shit. So I don't know, man. Angler MGTOW, Hammer, thank you. I appreciate you, Angler. Thank you for checking in, brother. We are approaching the 1 hour, 1 3/4 hours mark, and I think that's going to be about time to call it a day. A day. Successful endeavors. We've had half a century of communistic indoctrination. It's been more, but it's been in high fucking gear since 70, easily since 1970. But we've had a lot more of it than that. You go back and you listen to, you can even hear it. Not that I believe everything that these folks say, but I will believe this particular one. Ronald Reagan, like from the Reagan presidential library videos, it's on YouTube. And you can hear him talk about when he was the head of the Screen Actors Guild, SAG. He was a leftist at one point in time. And then some things happened with him that kind of turned his opinion on shit. So he became a Republican over time. And then he was charged as the Screen Actor Guild head with rooting out and finding communism in Hollywood. And he said it was a job that would never end. Not his exact words, but Yeah, he knew that when he took the job, he was going to be in trouble. He was going to be in trouble because there's too much of it, really, to route out. You have to stomp it down, and you have to make it very clear that it's absolutely intolerable, that it's unacceptable, and you're not going to do that anymore. Channel 1800 Hammer asking sincerely, with all of my love, you have Robert Plant logged up with a big brother. Logged up with a big log brother. Do I have it logged up? You mean like to send you guys out of here? I don't. I'm sorry. I will at some point in time here with some more videos, but yeah, I don't. Successful endeavors at least since the late 1800s. Yeah, I would agree with you. Since the perversion of Marx, the proletariat, all of those motherfuckers, easily. And Marx was a piece of shit. But it just goes to show you, people will gravitate to anything, absolutely anything, especially if they feel like they're a victim. And that's something that this country is very good at, is making people that don't want to work, that don't want to go out there and grab success by the ass. Whoops. They don't want to do any of that shit. They just want crap handed to them. It's easy to believe you're a victim if you have nothing, but you won't put in the effort. Cognitive dissonance. The hamster wheel goes round and round. Daryl Purnell. Wow. Yeah. Frog Dude, Big Log, one of my favorites from the 1980s. Success Pool Endeavors, Big Log Track from Robert Plant. Yeah, it was good shit, man. I really appreciate the ins and the outs on that stuff, guys. I appreciate all of the stuff that you do. You know that. I appreciate you tuning in. 500 almost. No, 488 of y'all still sticking around, and I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you. But look around and look carefully. Look carefully at the cracks in the foundation. The foundation of feminism was built on quicksand. It took this long for it to sink, to crack, a break, start falling apart. And that's what it's doing. Now, what does that mean for women? Nothing. Because all of the things that women wanted, they got. They got. All of the unintended consequences, they got. Just like us. You see, our forefathers obligated us to a certain kind of life. It was a certain thing that we were able to do and then not able to do. And we could have a vote. We could own land. But at the drop of the hat, the government can obligate you to go to war and die. Or you can come back fucking mangled. And I find none of those options to be worthy or appealing. Take care of yourselves, folks. Live long and prosper. And remember, every day above dirt is a good day.